Look, I'm sorry boys, but if you're still watching anime every day in 2020, you're a nerd, and your mom is probably getting railed by all of your friends when you're not around. Now, if you saw my other video on anime, you'd know that people that watch anime have issues with their friends finessing their moms, and that's an undisputed fact. Now, let me tell you a story about a guy named Andrew that went to my school, and all he would ever talk about was anime with schoolgirls, and honestly, it was really cringe and made him look weird. If you're spending time watching animes that primarily feature females, you might be disabled, just warning you. But the thing is with Andrew is that his mom was an absolute freak, and everyone knew it. Everyone on the block was trying to get with that fat slut, including me of course. But one day I realized it was time. I hatched a plan to take on Andrew's mom myself. So one day I walked up to him and humored him, and asked him what his favorite anime was. And I listened to his endless spiel of anime girls and how much he wanted to touch them and grope them with his disgusting hands, and honestly, it was getting so weird and uncomfortable to listen to, I almost threw up. The people that watch anime this much are just degenerates, bro, and they need to stop. Because every time I listen to them quote some stupid shit female anime characters say to try to sound quote unquote cute, they aren't even aware of how much their family is disappointed in them. Despite all that mental pain Andrew gave me, the reward was too high for me to give up now, and everything changed when he invited me to his house, and knowing who was there, I had to say yes. When I finally got there, I saw his mother cooking up the pork chops in the kitchen, and hot damn, that woman was the baddest bitch I've ever seen in my entire life. I'll tell you right now, that ass could clap and it would sound like the Hulk's hands smacked together with how much force it would generate. Andrew invited me to watch anime with him, and I sat down as he started it up on his TV. But what he didn't know was that I was hatching a plan to jump on his mom like in WWE. The anime he put on was one I've heard about on YouTube and other comments. It was called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and let me tell you something right now. If you watch that show and are male, you're into men. I have never seen something so fruity in my entire life. For starters, look at the main character right here. Does this send any signals to you? Now, there's nothing wrong with being gay, but I'm just saying, if the first episode of the show starts with a guy dressed in pink getting licked by another male, you have something you need to talk about with your dad. Only way I could bear through it was thinking about Andrew's mom, because I could tell with just one look she was lonely and needed a real man in her life as a single mom. I mean, the only male around the house was some soy boy anime nerd that had posters of anime girls in his room. I knew it was time to finally make a move on Andrew's mom. So I told Andrew I'd be right back and went to the kitchen. Andrew's mom was really happy to see me again, and I said I was happy to see her too. She was making some blueberry muffins, and I offered to help her. Let me tell you one thing, Andrew's mom was a thick bitch, and in a good way too, and she really knew her way around a nice spoon and cream. I helped her stir a bowl, and she really liked the way I used my hands with how she kept throwing that ass back at me, quote unquote accidentally. But we were both laughing about it and having a good time. There was one point where I accidentally dropped a spoon in front of her, and she winked at me and said, "I'll get it," and then bent her whole ass over in front of me to pick it up, and even held it there for a good 3 seconds before slowly getting back up. The only thing I could think of in this moment was, must be Thanksgiving, because this bitch wants the stuffing. I'm telling you boys right now, mothers of boys that are obsessed with anime are complete freaks that love any attention that they can get from real men. They long for the touch of a man to make up for the fact that they have an effeminate, pathetic soy boy male in the house. Andrew's mom even kept squeezing my biceps, asking if I worked out, and I told her, damn right, I know my way around heavy weights. We both kept flirting with each other, winking back and forth. It was honestly pretty cute. I almost got caught when Andrew came downstairs looking for me. I said, "Oh, hey Andrew, I was just hanging out with your mom, making some blueberry muffins that we could eat while we watched that show. I was just about to show your mom my famous secret creamy surprise recipe." Andrew was all for it. I was feeling mean though, and while I was talking to Andrew, I was right next to his mom, even reaching down to grab a piece of that fat bottom, which made his mom giggle, without Andrew even realizing what I was doing. I finally told Andrew, "If you give me just a little bit more time with your mom, I'll be right up there. She'll love my secret sauce, trust me." Andrew left the room, and I was still grabbing his mother's fat booty. And that's when I looked her in the eyes, and I finally said the word she's been wanting to hear for so long. "Bring that ass to me." Now, unfortunately, I can't go into extensive detail on what I did to Andrew's mom in the next 20 minutes on YouTube, but I will say I gave her the secret sauce, and it was extra ripe that day. It sounded like a standing ovation in a theater because there was a lot of clapping going on in that kitchen. She wasn't expecting me to be so good at handling pork chops, and she was surprised I was so willing to eat them raw. I almost said the flavor melted in my mouth, but I was willing to give her some meat to feast on herself. I was having a great time, but then things took an unexpected turn. Andrew got impatient and came back downstairs, and he saw me raw dogging his hoe of a mother in the kitchen while she was holding onto the spoon. She didn't want to stop though, so I just looked him straight in the eyes and I told him, "Damn, Andrew, your mama likes it rough." He was so shocked, but soon gained his ability to speak and finally said,
"Please be gentle with my mom. You might accidentally break her hip."
I promised him I wouldn't be too rough with his mom, but I was amazed by how understanding Andrew was with the situation, and honestly, it made me respect him even more. Andrew left the room and went back upstairs to give his mom and I some privacy so I could finish her off. The final trick I had was hitting her with the Shazam, and she was howling like a hoe when I did it to her. After I finished her up and we cooked those blueberry muffins, I decided to be nice to Andrew and watch the rest of that fruity little show of his with the muffins I finished making with his mom, so we all had a great time in the end. I had a long talk with Andrew about his mom, explaining that his mom was just a hoe, and she needed a real man in her life to make her feel like a woman. Andrew was understanding of the situation, and I was grateful he was willing to hear my point of view. His mother was a freak, and needed a man like me in her life to make her feel warm and fuzzy. I told him that if he wants to turn his life around, he needs to start hitting the gym and lifting weights instead of choking his chicken to anime girls at home all the time. I offered to lift with him sometime to ensure that he could stay in shape and stay confident about himself, and Andrew's mom really liked that I was so willing to keep her boy in good condition. Andrew slowly saw me as a father figure, which was weird because Andrew's mother also called me daddy. Andrew slowly stopped watching anime as he lifted more and became a man instead of a soy boy cuck that watched anime all the time and uses female anime characters on Steam profiles to signal that they have zero testosterone and that they're little bitches. With help from me, he really turned his life around, and he still talks to me to this day, thanking me for turning him into a man instead of letting him remain a loser. Months later, I'm still dropping by Andrew's house every now and then to go lifting with him and getting some protein bars that Andrew's mom buys for us so we can use them afterwards. Andrew is no longer the basement-dwelling loser that watched pathetic Japanese cartoons alone in his house, but a proper man like I raised him to be that can successfully pull thick moms almost like I can, and I was proud of him. We were about to get ready, but then I saw Andrew's mom wearing yoga pants in her room, and she was really showing me her downward-facing dog with a wink. I had to talk to Andrew. "Sorry, Andrew, but your mom's really horny and I need to take care of her before we go." He turned to me and said,
"Tear my mom's ass up."
He gave me a high five before I went inside his mom's room to do the deed before we went to the gym. Anime has horrible effects on your personality. You start to think that by liking anime, you have a personality, but in reality, you're just being a lonely cuck sitting in your room watching cartoons all day. I'm gonna be really honest with you boys, it's so sad to see. Start trying to improve yourself by gaining valuable skills and traits, like lifting weights so your muscles don't look like pool toys, and socializing with others so you can be a more valuable member of society, instead of a little boy sitting in his room all day watching anime. Because the day might come when one day you're sitting in your room watching your favorite cartoon about anime schoolgirls, and you hear a bumping noise from your mom's room. And then when you get closer, you realize it sounds like a loud clapping noise that sounds like someone's churning butter, and the butter's milky. And then when you finally muster up the courage because you're a little bitch boy coward that watches anime all day, you'll slowly open the door. And then you'll see your mom on the bed, and the entire Denver Broncos are running a train on your hoe of a mother. I've heard so many stories like this from the poor soy boys that watch anime. So it's up to me to put them in place and make them realize they can't go around obsessing over fictional anime characters. It's time for them to grow up and lift weights like a normal man, instead of letting their muscles shrivel up like raisins. One day, when you actually have muscles and you're in shape, instead of being a lonely boy that watches anime all day, you'll look back and thank me that I turned you into a real man. Make sure you keep in shape and stop obsessing over girls that aren't real. Keep strong, because the day might come when your mom's trying to call me over. And you already know that if she's hitting me up on her phone, I'm already on my way. And you better be careful, because I never go gentle with your mom. I know just how to rock the bed in the way she loves it. Keep safe out there, boys, because I don't want to have to teach your mother a lesson. Thank you so much for watching, boys. I'll see you in the next video. And always strive to become a real man.